Hello there. Who are you?
You meet someone at a bookstore. He's charming, well-read, maybe even a little awkward. But here's the thing. He's already decided you're the one, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to keep you. Welcome to the twisted mind of Joe Goldberg. Joe meets Beck, Guinevere Beck, and it's love at first sight. But Joe doesn't just fall for her. He digs into her life like he's studying a rare book. He Googles her, finds her address, and even steals her phone after she drops it on the subway. To Joe, this isn't creepy. It's romantic. And the line between admiration and obsession? Yeah, it's already gone. There's a problem. Beck has a boyfriend, Benji. Rich, smug, annoying Benji. Joe lures him into the bookstore's basement and locks him up in a literal cage. He tries to justify it, saying Benji's bad for Beck. And then he kills him. Just like that. Oh, and the body? Acid bath. Joe's done this before. Beck's best friend, Peach, smells something's off. She doesn't like Joe, maybe because she's also kind of obsessed with Beck herself. Joe sees her as a threat. And guess what Joe does with threats? He stalks her. Then he hits her with a rock. Literally. But Peach survives for a while. Now there's nothing in their way. Beck and Joe become a couple. And at first, it works. Sort of. But Joe can't stop spying. He reads her messages, follows her, even manipulates her therapy sessions. He gets her therapist fired, all in the name of love. But Beck starts noticing the cracks. Beck finds a hidden box, Joe's box. Inside, her phone, Benji's teeth, Peach's items. She finally sees the monster behind the mask. But Joe catches her. And now, she's the one in the cage. Joe tries to convince her it's all for love. She pretends to believe him, just long enough to try escaping. But she doesn't make it. Beck dies. Joe kills her, just like the others. Later, Beck's book is published, edited by Joe to make himself look like a grieving boyfriend. To the world, he's the hero, but we know the truth. And just when you think it's over, Candace shows up, Joe's ex. She's alive, and she wants answers. Joe Goldberg isn't just a hopeless romantic. He's a predator, and this was only the beginning. Because when Joe loves you, it's forever. Or until you find out who he really is. You thought it was over? You thought Joe Goldberg could just stop? Think again. New city, new name, new obsession, but the same old Joe. And trust me, it only gets darker from here. Joe flees to Los Angeles to start over. New city, new people. He swears he's changed. No more stalking, no more cages, no more killing. But then he meets her, Love Quinn. Yep, that's her real name. Love. Sweet, kind, broken. Just how Joe likes them. And suddenly, he's back to his old ways. Except this time, he's the one being hunted too. Problem is, Joe's past doesn't want to stay buried. Remember Candace? Yeah, she's alive. She's back, and she wants revenge. Joe tries to stay low-key, but LA isn't exactly built for hiding. Between Love's suspicious brother, 40, nosy neighbors, and Candace popping up like a horror movie villain, Joe's life spirals fast. Joe can't escape who he really is. He builds a new glass cage. He gets tangled with people who push him too far. A sleazy comedian? Dead. A nosy neighbor? Dead. Every time Joe says this is the last time, it never is. But here's the twist no one saw coming. Love? She's not the innocent girl Joe thought. She's just like him. Maybe even worse. She kills Candace. She kills Delilah. She covers Joe's crimes without blinking. Turns out, Joe wasn't hunting her. He was being hunted by her all along. And now, Love is pregnant. With his baby. Congratulations, Joe, you're trapped. Joe moves to the suburbs. White fences. BBQs. Baby on the way. Perfect life, right? But when Joe peeks through the fence at his new neighbor, you realize Joe Goldberg isn't done yet. Not even close. Because when Joe loves you, it's a death sentence. Joe Goldberg thought he could escape his past. New city, new name, new life, and now a family. But don't be fooled. The monster inside him isn't gone. It's just waiting for the right moment to strike. Joe and Love have moved to the suburbs. With their newborn son, Henry, everything should be perfect, right? Think again. This isn't a new beginning. It's just a new cage. Joe's trying to be a family man, trying to suppress his urges, but it's harder than he thought. Love might look like the ideal wife, but she's got a few secrets of her own. And the neighbors? They're all hiding something. There's more darkness in the suburbs than Joe ever imagined. Joe starts to realize that love isn't as innocent as he thought. She's just as dangerous, just as obsessed. She killed for him before. Now, she's ready to do it again. And worse, she might just be better at it than Joe. As Joe struggles with his own darkness, love starts to unravel. She's not the loving wife he imagined. She's the monster he's been running from. But wait, there's more. Enter the neighbors. A rich, obnoxious couple with a dark, twisted past. Sherry and Carrie Conrad. Sherry's an influencer. Carrie's a fitness guru. They look perfect on the outside, but inside, it's a war zone. They start a mess with Joe and Love, and things quickly get explosive. If there's one thing we know about Joe Goldberg, it's that when you mess with him, you're signing your own death warrant. As Joe's obsession with Marianne, the local librarian, grows, Love starts to snap. Her jealousy and violent tendencies spiral out of control. She kills again. She doesn't care. It's a deadly game of who will kill first. Joe's biggest mistake? Underestimating Love's desperation. As their marriage deteriorates, he's forced to make a terrible choice. One that will change everything. Joe finally realizes this can't go on. Either Love dies, or he does. The final confrontation is bloody. It's brutal. It's inevitable. In a stunning twist, Joe is forced to kill Love, the one person he thought he could be with forever. But as he stands over her lifeless body, something is off. The perfect suburban life that Joe worked so hard to build is now shattered. And in the distance, the real danger is closer than ever. But Joe isn't finished yet. He's not just running from the past. He's running toward the future. Marianne, the woman who might just be his next obsession. But will he repeat his mistakes? Or has he learned? The cycle continues, but this time, it's different. Joe Goldberg isn't looking for redemption. He's looking for the next woman to control, the next life to ruin. And who knows? Maybe this time, he'll get it right. Joe Goldberg is dead. Or at least, that's what he wants you to think. A new country. A new identity. A fresh start. But monsters like Joe, they don't change. They just evolve. Welcome to London, mate. Let the hunt begin. Now calling himself Professor Jonathan Moore, Joe is living the quiet life in London. Teaching literature. Keeping a low profile. No more stalking. No more killing. Or so he says. But when he gets sucked into the glamorous, poisonous world of London's elite, it's only a matter of time before old habits creep back in. Then the bodies start dropping. Someone's killing the rich. And for once it's not Joe, but the killer knows Joe's secrets. They start blackmailing him, pulling him deeper into a deadly game he didn't choose. Joe's not the hunter anymore. He's the prey. Enter Kate. Cold, smart, untouchable. Everything Joe can't resist. He tells himself he doesn't want her. He's different now. He's in control. But deep down we all know Joe Goldberg is never in control for long. And in Kate's world, love is a weapon. And Joe is about to get disarmed. The killer keeps playing mind games. Secrets start spilling. Lies unravel. Joe's new life, it's built on sand. And it's crumbling fast. Every friend in this circle is a suspect. Every ally could be a traitor. In London's high society, trust is dead. And soon, so is almost everyone else. The truth hits harder than any killer. Joe doesn't need enemies. He's his own worst nightmare. Haunted by hallucinations, tormented by guilt, Joe spirals. He tries to be the hero, but ends up proving, once again, that he's the villain of his own story. Because no matter where he goes, no matter what name he chooses, Joe Goldberg always brings death. Joe thought he could reinvent himself. He thought he could bury the monster inside. But monsters don't die. They just find a new mask. And now, Joe isn't hiding anymore. He's embracing who he really is. London may have survived Joe Goldberg, but the next city? Maybe not so lucky. And just when you think you've seen it all, Joe Goldberg's story isn't over. The past he tried to bury? It's coming back with a vengeance. The lies, the blood, the bodies. In Season 5, Joe's darkest chapter is still waiting to be written. Get ready, because this time, there's no running. There's no hiding. There's only Joe. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the madness. And trust me, what's coming next? You do not want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the like if you're as obsessed as Joe. And turn on the bell so you're first in line when Season 5 drops. More recaps, more theories, and a whole lot more crazy stuff coming your way. Stay tuned. Things are about to get darker.